Sun Tzu's Art of War is not a work of fiction. There are no characters or symbolism, and it was written before the English were even a people, much less a language. So there's no real reason why I should make it the subject of my first video. But frankly, I don't care because I love this book. I'd be willing to say this book is my favorite of all time. I mean, it was written in 650 BC. That's over 600 years before Jesus, and yet not only is it still read, its advice and tactics are still widely used. And it was used by everyone. I mean, according to the back of the copy I had, the Qin Shi Huangdi, the guy who unified China, considered it indispensable in what he accomplished. Napoleon used its tactics to wage war against all of Europe simultaneously. The Vietnamese generals used to memorize it. Know that these are the first people to defeat America in a one-on-one war. The Americans themselves used it in Operation Desert Storm. The Patriots use it in their playbook. The list goes on and on. Now, when you get an essay on this book, the only question teachers ever ask is why. What is it about this book that makes it so influential and relevant to a culture that Sun Tzu could never even imagine? Well, here's what I came up with. First of all, the writing is really simple. Sun Tzu writes the entire book as a series of pithy sayings. The most famous line in the book is, "All warfare is based on deception." And that wasn't extricated from a paragraph or something. That's it. The whole book is just a bunch of bullet points. The entire thing is like that. This makes the book both easy to remember and really quotable. Also, possibly because the whole book is sayings, Sun Tzu never uses exact measurements. The whole book is like, if you make your men march 100 li without stopping, they're going to be tired and you're going to lose. 100 li was like a long unit of measurement or something. See, the point isn't exactly on 100 li, it's just a placeholder for a really long way. And that's why these sayings work. I mean, nowadays I'm sure our modern soldiers could walk 100 li in their sleep, but that's not the point. The point is just that you can't overwalk your soldiers, and the generals can understand that even now. Now, we've talked about why the Art of War is so useful, but why did Sun Tzu write it that way? Well, I think that one of the reasons is because when Sun Tzu was writing, it was a very volatile period in Chinese history. It was called the Spring and Autumn period. China wasn't unified yet, so there were just all these kingdoms fighting each other everywhere. Legend has it that Sun Tzu approached the king of Wu for employment and secured it, but that means that he was kind of a military commander for hire, kind of like a mercenary. Anyway, so because of this, he had to have a work that could be applicable to all of these kingdoms. Anyone had to be able to read it, and so that's why he wrote it the way he did, I think. Also, don't write this in your essay, but I think one of the other reasons that it took off is because it was given a really awesome translated and straightforward title. I mean, The Art of War. You see that on a bookshelf, you know exactly what it's talking about. The other book we had to read for the class was called The Arka-shasta of Kautilya, and it was a great book too, but I mean, you see that in a bookshelf, and you're like, what is the Arka? I don't know what that means, but you see The Art of War, oh, it's about war, the art of doing it. So, you know, you'd read that one instead. Don't put that in the essay, though, because that's not exactly Sun Tzu's fault.